Hi, my name is Destiny. Welcome back to my channel. So if you see my last video where I talked about things that I regret buying, today's kind of a similar video, except today we're going to be talking about things that I just don't spend money on anymore. Mostly beauty items, to be honest. So if you want to see what those items are, keep watching. But before we get into the video, please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Also hit the notification bell so you can get notified anytime I post a video. So if you want to see what I no longer buy, keep watching. The first thing I no longer buy or like spend money on, I would say more like it, is I actually just don't spend money on my nails. And what I mean by that is I don't go to a salon or like a nail tech to do my nails for actually a few reasons. So this actually happened way before quarantine. I was actually going to the nail salon quite often, and I was getting like gels, so it's like, you know, gels, acrylics, that kind of stuff. And I never really did like crazy designs or anything. It was just kind of like a solid color. But I'm kind of that person that, like, when your nails start growing out, I just get really, really lazy to go, and it just looks so bad. And I hated that. Like, I really didn't like that. And to be honest, for me personally, it began to be a little bit of a hassle to kind of go back every 2 weeks to fill my nails, because my nails grew, you know, pretty often. And sometimes I wouldn't necessarily be happy with the shape that I got, or just wouldn't be as happy as like I should be for paying for this service. So I kind of just stopped going and decided that, like, I'm just gonna kind of learn to do them on my own, kind of thing. So that's what I did. I learned. I watched a lot of like YouTube videos. I bought myself a LED lamp. Bought like the shellacs and the gels, all that kind of stuff, so I could just do my own nails at home. And then what actually ended up happening was, shortly after I did that, I went to school. I studied to be an esthetician. So I'm not sure if you guys know this, but when you're in class studying to be an esthetician, you go for 2 years. You're actually not allowed to have any kind of false nails or even false lashes. So then that kind of just completely cut ties with me getting any kind of acrylics or gels altogether. And I just solely had, and you can't grow out your nails either. So your nails have to be just like how mine are, just really, really short. You couldn't have them long whatsoever. It's very unsanitary if you're doing, you know, facials or treatments to have long nails. It's just not permitted at all. So yeah, for 2 years, I just walked around with nubs pretty much, because that's all I could walk around with. And I actually just got used to that, if I'm being honest. It just became my norm that I couldn't really have really long nails and things like that. And there are times where like I missed it, and it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because there's times where I missed it, and then, you know, maybe like if I had like a week off of school for like March break or something, I have like press-ons that I buy, so sometimes I put those on, and then I felt like they were too long, because now I'm not used to having that length of nails, so when I put them on, I just wanted them off. So for the most part, if I do ever miss putting false nails on, I will either just buy press-ons if I'm too lazy to actually do nails, or I do have these press-on nails that are actually just completely they're actually acrylic, and they're just like they're see-through, they're transparent. I'll show you some pictures of like what I've done with my nails just in quarantine now that like I'm no longer in school and I graduated, and I kind of have time on my hands, like, and I wanted to experiment with you know, nails and designs and things like that. I'll put up some pictures of the stuff that I've done, but for the most part, it's not really something that I do all the time with my nails. And even now, I feel like I'm just gravitating towards, even if I am buying press-ons, just like shorter, medium length nails. Especially now, like, I feel like you constantly have to sanitize your hands. Sometimes having nail polish it's just not doable. Especially when like I go to work, I come home, and I constantly at work have to like sanitize my hands like crazy. So it's not really something that I pay money for anymore. And then you do learn it at school as well, so you kind of already get the runaround of how to do it by yourself, how to do it on clients. So I don't necessarily really know if, even when things open, if I will ever like run back to go get a manicure. A pedicure, I probably would, just because I feel like it's not the same. Like, I feel like yes, you can get in there with your pedicure, but I feel like having someone else do it is just nicer. Like, for me, like that kind of stuff, I don't mind, you know, having someone else do, but I feel like the nails, the acrylics, one, it just takes too long. I don't always want to like sit in the chair for that long, to be honest. And even with my real nails, I would just prefer shellac or regular nail polish. And I kind of feel like, because I could do it myself, I just don't see the point in me paying someone when I already know how to do all those things at home, and I have the tools and I have the machine. So I just don't really do it now that I have like the machine, and I buy the shellac colors and the gel colors. So I don't really necessarily feel like I need to really go back. But yeah, that's one thing that I just don't buy, because I learned to do it by myself. And I'm sure a lot of you ladies at home have learned to do it yourself, considering that everything is closed, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's number one. The other things I don't spend money on are going to be like more like makeup stuff. So one thing I don't spend money on is actually expensive mascaras. And to be honest, I have never spent money on expensive mascara. If I'm being honest, any high-end mascara I've ever had, it was either gifted to me by a friend, or I would use my $100 points at Sephora and get the little travel size ones. And that's about it. But besides that, if I'm being honest, I never saw the point in buying $30, $40 mascara, especially for me personally, because I just put lashes on top of that. So to be quite honest, I kind of feel like it's just a waste of money, because I'm not really using it to like, you know, make my lashes longer or anything like that. I'm just using it enough to kind of create a base for my lashes to go on top, to have them like stay better, like blend in with my natural lashes. So I just never saw the point in buying really, really expensive mascara. And to be honest, I feel like the drugstore now, I feel like the drugstore now like really carries really great mascaras and just makeup in general. Like, I remember when I was buying makeup, I remember when I was buying makeup from the drugstore. I feel like even here in Canada, you know, being a Black girl, the options were very, very limited on what you can buy. And oftentimes I was like kind of the last shade. And that was me in the winter. I was the last shade in the winter. But now I feel like they have so much more shades. They have so much more options in a lot of different things, including mascaras. So I don't even know if you always have to go out and buy, you know, $30, $40, $50 mascara if you absolutely, you know, don't need to, if stuff at the drugstore just works perfectly fine. So yeah, that's something that I just don't buy, because I just buy lashes instead and just pop them on. So I don't really need them, you know, for what they're claiming to do. Yeah. So the next thing I actually don't buy are expensive lip liners. And I used to only buy one expensive lip liner, if I'm honest. And that was, I think everyone knows this, it's from MAC. And it's, oh my God, you guys don't remember what it's called? It's called Cork. MAC lip liner in the color Cork. Because I feel like the drugstore lip liners didn't work that well. Like, they didn't have the level of brown that I wanted. Sometimes when they would say they were brown, they really weren't. When they say they were brown, they really weren't. They were kind of like this, sometimes this like really off color that never looked like brown to me. And unfortunately, sometimes at the drugstore, you can't really test a lot of the makeup, because I feel like people used to like steal them a lot, and they just stopped producing testers for a lot of things, especially those things. So you'd have to like oftentimes blind buy the lip liners. Like, if it said chocolate brown, like you would hope you'd go home and be chocolate brown, and oftentimes it wasn't as chocolate brown as I would need it to be. So I would have to go to MAC to buy, you know, Cork lip liner. And then a few years ago, one of my friends went to the Morphe store when they finally opened up here in Canada, and there was this lip liner on the website that I saw, and it was like, I think like at the time, I think everything was on sale because the store had just opened, and I think the lip liner was like $3, and I asked my friend to buy me two. Vibes by Morphe, and it's like a brown color, and this other one called, is it Coffee and Kiss? Kiss and Coffee. I'm not really sure, but those two liners I asked her to buy me, and you know, my friend, she gave it to me, and it's kind of just been like, I've never looked back. It's literally like my exact dupe to MAC Cork, to be quite honest. And sometimes on the website they'll even have it for $3, but at the max the lip liner is like $6, which you just can't beat. So I've just never ever bothered to buy another lip liner from MAC, considering that Vibes from Morphe just works so well, and it's literally like more than a fraction of the cost than buying a MAC lip liner. And I haven't shopped at MAC in so long that I don't even know what the prices are like now. Like, I know when I bought the liner, I believe they used to be like $20, $18. I have no idea what MAC lip liners even go for now, because I just haven't bought one in like at least 3 or 4 years. Like, it's been a long time since I've bought anything from MAC, at least the MAC store, because now MAC is a part of Sephora, and when Sephora has a sale, you can get like discounts. So like, I usually buy like their skin finishes or something when Sephora has the sale, then I'll just like re-up and make it last me till they have the next sale. So yes, I haven't bought directly from the MAC store in a long time, so I don't know what things like that run for anymore. But yeah, that's just something I just don't buy anymore. So yeah. And another thing that I just don't buy is expensive skincare. And this one is not, it's kind of hard because it's not black and white with this particular one, because there are certain brands that cost a pretty penny that I still really do like. Like, I still do like Drunk Elephant. I just kind of swapped out the moisturizers I would use for them. Mostly my skincare actually right now consists of brands like, you know, right now The Ordinary, La Roche-Posay, and Avène, to be honest. Mainly because, so the main things I used to buy from like Drunk Elephant were their moisturizers. Because I feel like they were like one of the best moisturizers that I would use when I would use retinol. And I like use retinol all of the time. And if you use retinol, you know the side effects of retinol. You know the peeling, the dryness, the tightness, you know, all of those side effects that come with using retinol. So I felt like other moisturizers I used, they just weren't doing it. They just weren't doing its job like I needed it to do. And I remember when quarantine happened, I was using like I would go back and forth. Like, even before, I always used La Roche-Posay. It was like one of the things that literally helped clear my acne more than anything else that I've ever bought in Sephora. I kid you guys not. But I still did use Drunk Elephant when my skin got better. But I noticed that I did have quite a few moisturizers that were sitting in my drawer, and I just never opened them. I never opened them because I had found this, it's not really a moisturizer, it's more like a balm. It's called the Cicaplast Balm B5 by La Roche-Posay, and it's actually formulated to help with like dryness or any kind of like skin irritation that you have, to be quite honest. And it's formulated so gently that you can actually use it on babies and infants. So when I used retinol, that was my kind of like go-to for my moisturizer, because I would notice that like the peeling really wouldn't be so bad using the Cicaplast Balm. So that was something that I used all the time. The only issue is, if you know this product, it can be kind of hard to get your hands on because it's constantly sold out. A lot of people use it in the winter because it's a really great product to use if you suffer from dry skin. It really is. So sometimes getting my hands on it is hard. I have to buy like sometimes 2 at a time just to make sure I have, just in case it runs out on me. So that's kind of just what I've been using. And because the retinol that I use is a prescription retinol, actually from the doctor, and I've noticed that, to be honest, the prescription retinol that I have, and let's compare it to the Drunk Elephant retinol. If you do use that retinol, my prescription one is actually, I believe, a little bit cheaper than buying the one from Drunk Elephant, and that is actually medical grade. So I didn't necessarily feel the need to go and buy an over-the-counter retinol when I had a retinol that I used that was medical grade, got from the doctor, just straight formulated retinol. So I kind of felt like the bang for my buck was more me filling my prescription, and that was like me filling my prescription without having insurance. Just like me filling it was still cheaper than me buying Drunk Elephant, the 30 mil. I believe it starts at like $94 plus tax. So if you do buy that, maybe you should consider, you know, what the price of retinol would be at your doctor and what the price it is at Sephora, because you may very well might be paying the same or a little bit more for a medical grade retinol, and doctors can always start you at a really low dose. And like a little bit of background history. So I started using retinol because I have acne and I suffer from acne scars. Before, it used to be really bad. I got more of a hold of it. With the pandemic though, it's kind of been on and off because I feel like the constant wearing of the mask all the time is causing my skin to be just irritated and break out. But I still got a better handle on it now than I did before. But yes, expensive skincare is just not something that I feel like right now just don't need to buy, considering that like things like Avène and La Roche, they work really well for me and I like them, and the ingredients and the way that they're formulated are really gentle, so I never have to worry about certain things, and they work for the needs that I need them to work for. So in that particular case, that's why I don't really buy it. But there's still like moisturizers like from Tatcha's Dewy Skin Mist. I really like like I said, the peptide Protini peptide by Drunk Elephant. I really like. I don't really buy expensive cleansers. I have like most of the cleansers I have. One is from La Roche, and it's like the one that for your like acne, the Epiclear. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. It's the one that's more formulated for acne. It comes in like a blue bottle, and the other ones I have are actually from CeraVe, and those ones are just, I have the hydrating one and the CA cleanser one. I have those ones, and those are kind of like the ones I tend to stick to. But I think once I run out of the La Roche, I'm still gonna keep it because I feel like it's just a cleanser that's just never irritated my skin. Like I feel like that's one that I keep buying bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles, and I always will, because it's something that's never irritated my skin and I've never had a problem. So I'm not going to change it if it's working for me. But yeah, so that's the reasons I just don't buy it anymore, because I just don't. I've seen my skin, you know, using like over the counter, like more affordable products, and it works well for my skin, mainly because like I said, like the retinol and like what I kind of need in a product is in my retinol altogether for discoloration, acne, helping with like, you know, aging, taking away like little fine lines and wrinkles. I don't really have that, but all the things that you would technically be spending tons and tons of money for, I already have in this one bottle of retinol. So everything else is kind of fair game at the drugstore. So that's actually it for all the things that I just don't buy anymore right now. At this moment, I just don't buy them anymore. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you liked this video. So if there's anything that like you swapped out that you just don't buy anymore, doesn't matter if it's like cosmetics, beauty, skincare, like anything, like household stuff, whatever it is, like let me know down below. I'm always interested. I actually like go down the rabbit hole of like watching what people don't buy anymore, because I'm genuinely always interested. And it's always nice to be able to like save your money where you can, if you realize like you really don't need certain things, and some things are more of like a want than a need, and you could just save money buying certain things, you know, elsewhere if it works for you. So thank you so much for watching. Like I said before, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps out my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.